So good morning everyone. Today let us discuss constructors. So what we have discussed till now, we have started unit 2 JavaScript and we have discussed many things. As a continuation, now today I want to discuss constructors with you. So in many programming languages, I hope you have read about constructors. See, you have learned many programming languages like Java, C and C++ and Python also. In some of the programming languages, I hope you have learned the concept of constructors. Till now we have learned about JavaScript. In JavaScript also we have learned about data types, objects, type conversion and many more things we have learned like control structures, we have learned like operators and many things. So today let us see what is a constructor is. So directly I am going into the example of constructor because you know what is a constructor in many programming languages. So just I wanted to go into an example and tell you what is the constructor and what output we'll get. So this is the example for constructor. After explaining the program, we will go into the output. So as you can see, the word this is the constructor here. What is a constructor? Constructor is a keyword. Constructor is a keyword. This is a keyword. It is not a variable. Not a variable. So example of constructor is this. The word this is called as a constructor. It is not a variable. It is a keyword in JavaScript. So why this is considered as constructor? This is a predefined keyword. So we have the predefined keyword called as this. This is called as constructor and it is not a variable. So why we are using this? If see, I want the object student. So student is my object. For same object I have to give multiple values. For same object, I want to give multiple values and multiple variable names, then I will go for the constructor. So, student is object here. Student is object. So, what I wanted to tell you, in every programming language, we have the concept of constructors. Here, this is the predefined keyword. It is not a variable. Why we are considering this as a keyword? Because when we have the object like student and for one object, when you want to give multiple values, if you want to give multiple values for the same object and with different variables, then you are going to use this constructor. So see here what I wanted to give. I wanted to give roll number, name, attendance of one particular student, that is S1. Again I wanted to give roll number, name and attendance of another particular student S2. All these S1, S2, S3 and so on, Sn are the students under the object student. So S1 is a variable, S2 is a variable, student is the object. For this particular student with different variable names, I wanted to give different values. These values are nothing but roll number, name and attendance. When this situation arrives, then we will use the constructor. So here in JavaScript, constructor is nothing but this. This is the predefined keyword, it is not a variable. So how we are using, see here. So constructor we have to declare once. So what I have taken here, I have taken a function student. For this function I have passed roll number, name and attendance are arguments. Arguments list. In the previous class we have seen the syntax of function. The syntax of function is nothing but function, function name, argument list, statements. So same way, function, function name, argument list, statements. In these statements what I am doing? I am declaring every value with constructor. So constructor dot roll number. Constructor dot name. Constructor dot attendance. So what I have done? I want roll number. I want name and I want attendance also. So what I have done, for everything I have declared with constructor. So for everything I have declared with constructor. So simple HTML program you all know. Language is JavaScript, you know. This is up to here. This is function syntax. You know function syntax also. Function syntax. So you know function syntax also. Function, function name, argument list. So what are the arguments I want here? Roll number, name, attendance. So this is the constructor. For this constructor I have given the arguments, I have passed. Then I have taken two variables in this student function and student object. Then you all know document.write is used for output. So document.out is used for output. So roll number break, name break, attendance break. This is for S1. So S2 roll number break, S2 name break, S2 attendance break. So S1 and S2 are two different students in our student object. So we will see what will be the output for this. This will be the output for this. See first one, S1 roll number. So this is S1 roll number, S1 name, S1 attendance. So S2 roll number, S2 name, so S2 attendance. So we have used break tag, that's why we got the break between everything. We have used this constructor to pass the values. So output is S1 roll number, S1 name, S1 attendance, S2 roll number, S2 name, S2 attendance. Like this you can create till Sn also. Like this you can create till Sn also. So same program can be written and can be created, can be written document.write statements. You can create for n number of students. So this is the use of constructor. So we are discussing about constructors and this is the output for the constructor program. So next very important thing, pattern matching using regular expressions. PM using RE. Pattern matching using regular expressions. So let us see what it is. So what is regular? What are the regular expressions? So see here, regular expressions are patterns used to match character combinations in strings. You are going to take strings. In strings, if you are going to match characters, so regular expressions are nothing but a patterns. Why these regular expressions are used? To match the characters combinations in strings. If I have given hello, one string, and I have given hello world, another string. My string 1 is hello, my string 2 is hello world. I want to match this S1 equal to S2. For that I am using regular expressions. If I want to match characters of strings, then I am using some patterns called as regular expressions. So see here, many programming languages like JavaScript, Perl, Python, PHP, Java and Ruby will support these regular expressions. Okay. So next point, regular expressions allow you to check the string of characters like an email address, password patterns, anything. You can compare email address, you can compare passwords, you can compare characters of strings. So what is regular expression? Regular expression is nothing but a pattern. It is supported by JavaScript, Perl, Python, Ruby and PHP also. What we are doing here, we are matching the characters in the string. As I told you, if your string is hello, string 1, string 2 is hello world. If you want to match these two strings hello and hello world, you are using regular expressions. So how many types of regular expressions we can create? There are two ways to create regular expressions in JavaScript. So for creating regular expressions in JavaScript, we have two ways. We have two ways for creating regular expressions. So see first one, it can be created by using regular expression constructor or by using forward slash. So two ways we have to create regular expression. First way is creating the regular expression using regular expression constructor or creating the regular expressions by forward slash. So let us see. The syntax. So first one, regular expression constructor. What is the syntax for that? New regular expression, pattern, comma flags. So what is the syntax for this? New regular expression, pattern, comma flags. I will tell you what this flags is in the next class. So see the example. Variable regular expression constant equal to new regular expression ABC. So by two ways you have to create regular expressions. First one is using constructor, second one is using forward slash. So first method syntax is new regular expression, pattern, flags. So for that example, variable regular expression constant, new regular expression ABC. So what is the second one? Using forward slash. So see here regular expression literal. So see here, what is the syntax for regular expression literal? So forward slash pattern, forward flags. You will know what these flags are done in the next class. So see here, variable regular expression literal, forward slash ABC, close. So two ways you have. Using regular expressions you can create with this syntax, or using patterns also, using forward slash also you can create like this. So see, variable regular expression literal equal to forward slash ABC forward slash colon. So if you see example, you will understand what the syntax is. So see here, there are two methods for testing regular expressions. So what we have done here, for creating we have two methods. For creating regular expressions we have two methods. For testing also we have some process. So for testing the regular expressions we have to see, there are many methods, but mainly two methods we have for testing regular expressions. First one is regular expression dot prototype dot test. So what is the first method? We have two methods for testing regular expressions. In the two methods, first one is regular expression dot prototype dot text. So what this method will do? This method is used to test whether matches has been found or not. See, I wanted to tell you, I have taken hello string 1 and I have taken hello world string 2, and I want to compare these two strings and find the matches. For that I am using regular expressions and two methods also. One is constructor method and another one is forward slash method. Now what I wanted to tell you is, to test the regular expressions also we have two methods. In that first one is regular expression dot prototype dot test. This is the first method. What this method will do, whether the matches found or not will identified by this method. See, it will accept a string which has to be tested against regular expression and returns true or false depending upon if the match is found or not. So very simple. To test the regular expressions also we have two methods. In that first one is regular expression dot prototype dot test braces. What this method will do? This method will test whether the match has been found or not. And what it also do? It will take the string and it will test against the regular expression and returns true or false. It will return true or false. When this method will return true or false, if match is found it will give true. If match is not found it will give false. So you need to understand, for testing the regular expressions also we have two methods. In that first one is this one. What this method will do? It will match the string with regular expression and it will produce the output as true or false. If the match is found it will produce true. If the match is not found it will produce false. So see the example. So see the example. My variable is regular expression. So variable regular expression. Variable name is regular expression. I am using forward slashes to create the regular expression. So I have used forward slashes and created the regular expression as hello. So my variable name is regular expression. I have used the forward slashes for creating the hello word regular expression. Next my string is hello world. So see here, variable name is regular expression using forward slashes. Using forward slashes I have created the regular expression as hello using forward slashes. I have taken the variable string and I have taken the string as hello world. Now I wanted to compare this regular expression hello with the string hello world, and I wanted to give the, if matches is found, I wanted to give the result. See, console.log result, it will produce the result. Console.log result. This statement will produce result. So what I have to compare? In result I want to put test done between regular expression and string. I want to perform. So see here, first I have created a regular expression with forward slashes hello. Then I have created a string hello world. I wanted to print the output after checking these two will match or not. Console.log result, this will give the output. What I wanted to put in the result? Regular expression, test is done on string and regular expression. So regular expression we have taken, we are performing test with the string. So string is hello world, regular expression is hello. Regular expression is hello, string is hello world. So for string and regular expression I want to perform a test. I want to perform a test for string and for regular expression. That I should store in result. So console.log result will give you the result. It returns true. See here, it returns true. Why this program will return true? My regular expression is hello, my string is hello world. I am performing the test on string and regular expression. So hello is matched. So as a result it is giving true. So to create the regular expressions we have two methods. To test the regular expressions also we have two methods. First we have to take the regular expression, then we have to take the string. Then we have to perform test on regular expression and string. That result should be stored and print. As I told you, this will return true or false. Since here match is found, this program returned true. So let us see the next one. What is the second method for testing? So first method is regular expression prototype.text. So what is the second method? Regular expression prototype.execute, execute. So see here, this method will return any array. This will return array containing all the matched groups. It accepts a string that we have to test against the regular expression. So this method also will take the string. It will match the string with regular expression. But what it will do? It will return the array. So you have to understand carefully. Two methods we have for testing the regular expressions. So what are the two methods? So see here. So what are the two methods? Test is method 1. So listen carefully. We have two methods for regular expression testing. So first one is regular expression prototype test. What it will take? It will take string and match with regular expression and will return true or false. This is first method. This is the example for first method. So what is the second method for testing regular expression? Regular expression prototype dot exec is the second method. What it will do? It also will take string and it also tests against the regular expression, but it will return an array. What this array will contain? It will return a array. So what this array will contain? This array will contain matched groups. So what I wanted to tell you is two methods we have. In that second method is regular expression prototype.exec. It will also take the string and compare with regular expression, but as a result it will return an array. This array will contain matched groups. So let us see. So this is the example for second method. So first we have taken the variable regular expression hello we have. So first we need to generate regular expression. Using forward slash method we have generated regular expression. Then we have taken the word hello world. Now console.log result same for output. For returning output, we are using console.log.result for output. Next, as we already know, in result what we want to have? Regular expression comparing with string. In previous example, we have used test here. We are using test method. So in previous example, we used test here. But now we are using exec method. So we are using exec here. Same program, same example, same program like before program only. Taking the regular expression, creating the regular expression with forward slash, creating the string hello world. For output console.log.result, result should be stored in the result variable. What you have to compare? You have to compare regular expression with the string. So the entire program is same, but here we are using exec method. So here we have written exec. In the previous example, we have used test. So here instead of exec, we have written test in the previous example. So see here. So what it will return? It should return a array. So this is the array. So this is the array. As I told you, exec method will return a array. So that's why it returned the array. It returned the array as the output. So what this array will contain? This array will contain what are the matched groups. So very simple. We have test method. It will give true or false. We have exec method. It will give array. What this array will contain? This array will contain matched groups. So this is the testing of regular expressions. So let us see what is the meaning we have for different expressions. So let us see. First I am starting with brackets. See within the brackets, if you have taken ABC like this, it means find any character between the bracket. I have taken A, B, C like this within the bracket. You can see here. So now I am telling what is the meaning of each expression. We are having some expressions here. I want their meanings to be learned by you. So I am telling you what expression means what. So if I have taken ABC like this in bracket, it means I have to find the character between these. So find any character between the brackets. If I have taken not symbol like this cap symbol is for not. So not ABC means you have to find the character other than between the brackets. So in between I have ABC. I want to find the character between these three. I have cap ABC. Cap means not. Means I have to find the character other than these three. So same way 0 to 9. I have to find the character between 0 to 9. Not 0 to 5. Not 0 to 9. I have to find the character which is not in the brackets. In the brackets I have 0 to 9 but I have not symbol. So I have to find the character not 0 to 9. So our next one is X pipe symbol Y. It is nothing but finding an alternatives. If you have X and Y with pipe symbol like this, you have to find an alternative for X and Y. So let us see. So first we have, so what all we have discussed till now, let us see. So constructors we have started. So this is, so constructors we have started. So this is the constructor and we have seen the example for constructor and output. So this is the constructor word. So this is the output for constructor program we have seen. Next we have learnt about pattern matching and regular expressions. In that we know what is regular expressions. Then two ways for creating regular expressions. Syntax. Then two methods for testing regular expressions. So method 1 is test. Example. So method 2 is exec. That example. Then we have seen what is the meaning of some expressions and some description. So let us see. So with brackets you have seen. Now what are meta characters? Meta characters are the characters with special meaning. What are meta characters? So meta characters are the characters with special meaning. So with the brackets, you know, within the brackets if you have something, then you know the description of that expression. Now meta character is nothing but a meta character is a character with special meaning. So here we will have only characters. So see here, dot, full stop, nothing but find a single character except the new line or line terminator. If you have the symbol full stop, this means find a single character, you can accept new line or line terminator. So I have written hello here and I have the symbol like this, meta character full stop. It means you have to find the single character in this, or you can expect the next line. So what is the next one? Slash small w, word, find the word character. Slash capital W, find a non-word character. Slash small d, find a digit. Slash capital D, find a non-digit character. Slash small s, find the space. Slash capital S, find something other than space. And finally slash small b, find the match at the beginning of the word or ending of the word. See, if you have hi slash b or hi slash b, it means slash b means find at the beginning or at the end. So see once again, full stop means find a single character or you can expect the new line. Slash small w, find the word character. Slash capital W, find the non-word character. Slash small d, find a digit, nothing but one digit, any digit. So slash capital D, find other than digit. Slash small s, find the space. Slash capital S, find something other than space. So hello space world I have. If I want to find the space between hello and world, I will use slash small s. To find the space between hello and word, I will use slash small s. So slash capital S is for finding something other than space. And finally, what is slash small b? Find at the beginning or find at the end. If I have written hello Vignan and small b, so I have to find what is there after hello Vignan. If I have written slash small b, hello Vignan. So hello Vignan is my string. For hello Vignan, if I have written slash b in front, that is finding at the beginning. For hello Vignan, if I have written after slash b, that is for finding at the end. So slash b is for finding a match at the beginning or at the end. So these are meta characters. Meta characters are nothing but the characters with special meaning. Meta characters are characters with special meaning. So see, what is slash capital B? Find a match but not at the beginning or at the end. Slash capital O, find a null character. Slash small n, find a new line character. Slash small f, find a form field character. Slash R, find the written character. Slash T, find a tab character. Slash V, find a vertical tab character. So slash x, find the character specified by the octal number. So 2 cube equal to 8, 8 equal to octal. 2 cube equal to 8, 8 equal to octal. Since the power is 3, if you are having 3x like this, you have to find the octal number. So next, slash xdd, nothing but hexadecimal. Xdd is nothing but finding the hexadecimal number character. So UDDDD, 4 Ds. It is nothing but find the unique code specified by hexadecimal number. So till here, you know what it means. So see here, XXX means 2 cube equal to 8, 8 equal to octal. So XXX means you have to find octal number. XDD means you have to find hexadecimal number. That is, suppose UDDDD means you have to find the unique code of the character by hexadecimal number. You will have some hexadecimal number. For this hexadecimal number, you have to find the unique code. You will have the hexadecimal number. For that hexadecimal number, you have to find the unique code. So what is the last command? UDDDD. Normally XDD means hexadecimal. UDDD means you have to find the unique code for hexadecimal number. So let us see what are quantifiers. So till now you have seen brackets. So you have seen what are the brackets. You have seen meta characters. So till now you have seen regular expressions, creating regular expressions, testing regular expressions, constructors, all these you have seen. And you have seen the brackets and you have seen the meta characters also. Now let us see what are quantifiers. We have some quantifier and the meaning. So first one, n plus, matches any string that contains at least one n. It will match with n plus is the quantifier that will match with at least one string. That string will have at least one n. N asterisk matches any string that contains 0 or more occurrences of n. So now you have to take the examples like nest, nib, nickel, like this. Pet. So let us take the strings like nest, nib, nickel, pet. Now what n plus will do? N plus is the quantifier that will match with nest, nib and nickel, because at least one time we have n in this. In nest, in nib, in nickel, at least we have n one time. So it will match with n plus. What is n plus? N plus will match with the string that at least have the one n. What is n asterisk? It will match with the string which does not have the n. So if you take pet, nest, in nest we have n at least one time. So n plus quantifier will match with the next string. So n asterisk will match with pet because it does not have n. So next one, n of x, n of capital X matches any string that contains sequence of x n's. So NIDDLE, needle, have only one n. So it will match with n plus. Nibs, only one n, it will match with n plus. Pet, it don't have n, so it will match with n asterisk. So what is the word with two n's? Nice, will match with n plus. So if there is any word with 2 times n or x times n, that will match with n of x. N of x comma y matches with the string that contains sequence of x to y n's. So n of capital X comma space matches with the string that contains sequence of at least x n's. So n, n, n. So you have the school name like NNT. So school name is NNT. Now we have sequence of n's. So it will match with n of x. So next one, n dollar matches any string with n at the end of it. So if you have any string, so any string with the last letter n, it will match with n dollar. So cap n matches any string with n at the beginning. For any string, if n is at the beginning, for any string, if n is at the beginning, it will match with cap n. For any string, if n is at the end, it will match with n star. So next one is question mark equal to n matches any string that is followed by specific string n. So question mark exclamation n matches any string that is not followed by n. So let us see n plus. If any string will have at least one n letter, it will match. If any string does not have n asterisk will match. If we have occurrences 0 or 1 occurrences of n, it will match with n question mark. Repeatedly we are having n in a string, it will match with nx. Repeatedly we are having sequence of n's related to x and y, n comma xy. So at least x, at least it is matching with x n's, n of x. N dollar, nothing but at the end of the string we are having n. Cap n, nothing but matches any string with n at the beginning of it. So question mark n matches with the string followed by the specific string n. So you should have string 1 and you should have string 2. If string 1 followed by string 2 with the letter n at the beginning, question mark n. So quantifiers are nothing but strings having a particular letter n. For that we have some quantifiers like n plus, n hashtag, n question mark, nx, nxy, n dollar, cap, n question mark equal to n and all. So what are these quantifiers? Quantifiers are in JavaScript and we are concentrating on the alphabet letter n. Depending on the occurrences of n, we are having some quantifiers. So next we need to discuss about DHTML. DHTML is nothing but dynamic HTML. So what all we have discussed today? Constructors, that is this. This is the keyword, not the variable. For any object, if you want to give multiple values, then you are using constructors. We have seen the example. After constructor, we have seen what is regular expression, what are the ways to create regular expression, what are the ways to test the regular expression. Then we have seen what are the some expressions and examples. Then we have seen what are the meta characters. Then we have seen what are the quantifiers. Now we have to discuss DHTML. DHTML is nothing but dynamic HTML. What is the full form of HTML? You already know, hypertext markup language. DHTML is nothing but dynamic HTML. What is dynamic HTML? The combination of HTML, JavaScript, CSS and DOM. All these is called as HTML, JavaScript, CSS, DOM. What is DOM? Document Object Model. DOM is nothing but Document Object Model. So DOM is Document Object Model. The combination of HTML, JavaScript, CSS and DOM is called as dynamic HTML. So now we are going to discuss about dynamic HTML. Dynamic HTML is nothing but collection of technologies. Dynamic HTML, also called as DHTML, it is collection of technologies. What technologies we are collecting? HTML, JavaScript, CSS, DOM. What is DOM? Document Object Model. Document Object Model. If you are connecting HTML, JavaScript, CSS with DOM, all this group of collection is called as dynamic HTML. So let us see what is the event in that. See, we have event is nothing but responses made by the browser on the account of user interaction. Responses made by the browser when user is interacting with it. If I have opened the Facebook, I have opened the Instagram, I have opened the Twitter. While I am opening Facebook, Facebook browser will respond to me. I will be the user of the Facebook, I will be the user of Instagram, I will be the user of Twitter. When user is interacting with it, browser will perform some responses. That responses are called as events. The response generated by the user is nothing but event. So event handlers also we have. Event handlers are two types: interactive event handlers, non-interactive event handlers. So event is nothing but the response made by the browser when user is interacting to it. So I will be the Facebook user, Facebook's main page will be the browser. So when I am interacting with Instagram, when I am interacting with Twitter, when I am interacting with Facebook, the browser will give some response. That response is called as event. To handle this event, we have event handlers. Event handlers are two types: interactive event handlers, non-interactive event handlers. So what are the interactive event handlers? The event handler which will depend on user activity. Event handlers which will depend on user activity is called as interactive. The event handlers which does not depend on user activity is called as non-interactive event handlers. So I have opened the Facebook page. I will be the user. If depending upon me this will react, then it is interactive event handler. So I have opened some website. This is browser and I am the user. Not depending on me, this browser is doing some action, that is non-interactive event handlers. So whenever the browser is responding to user interactions, that is event. Events should be handled. Event handling is two types: interactive event handling and non-interactive event handling. Interactive means if user depending upon the user If the events are handled, that is interactive. We are going to talk about only interactive now. If the event handlers are not depending on the user, it is non-interactive. So we will see some of the event handlers that are interactive event handlers. See here, on blur. What it will do, as soon as the text, data or image turns blur, see if I perform on blur, text, data or image will convert into blur. On change, whenever the data in any HTML is changed. On about, see whenever any process like loading the page or image is cancelled. Now what I wanted to tell, we are discussing only about interactive event handlers. We are not going to discuss about non-interactive event handlers. Examples of interactive event handlers are on blur, to make the text, data and image blur. On change, to change any data of HTML page. On abort, to cancel the process of opening the place or closing the place. On double click, to double click any element on the page. On focus, to gain the focus on that page. On error, whenever error is occurred on JavaScript. On key up, whenever user releases the key. On key down, as soon as the user press the key. If I press the key like this, on key down. If I release the key, on key up. If I get any error, on error. If I want to focus any element in that page, on focus. If I want to double click anything, on DB click. If I want to cancel anything, opening the page or closing the page, on abort. If I want to change anything, on change. If I want to make blur, on blur. So these are the some of interactive event handlers. So see, some more interactive event handlers. On mouse up, whenever you release the mouse. On mouse down, whenever you press the mouse button. On resize, to resize your HTML page. On submit, as soon as you click the submit button. On reset, as soon as you click the reset button. On select, whenever you select the particular element. On unload, as soon as the web documents are closed. So if you release the mouse, you are not touching the mouse, on mouse up. You are pressing the mouse, on mouse down. To resize your web page, on resize. When you click on submit button, on submit. When you click on reset button, on reset. So when you select some particular element of web page, on select. When you want to close all the documents, on unload. So see once again. So event is nothing but response made by the browser when user is interacting. We should handle the events. Event handlings are two types, interactive event handlings and non-interactive event handlings. We are not going to talk about non-interactive event handlings. We just want to talk about interactive event handlings. What is interactive? Depending upon the user activity, these interactive event handlers will work. So let us see the examples. If I perform something, some event should happen. For making blur, for changing the document, for cancelling the opening or closing the file, for double clicking, for focusing, when we get error, when we do not press the key, when we press the key. Likewise, when we do not click the mouse, when we click the mouse, if we want to resize our page, if you want to perform submit or if you want to perform reset or if you want to select something or else if you want to close everything on unload. So till now we have discussed all these things. So we have discussed what is JavaScript, what are the data types, what are the variables, what are the operators, what are the control structures, what is type conversion. Then we have discussed what are the objects, object creation, arrays, functions. Then we have seen what are the constructors. Then we have seen regular expressions with pattern matching with regular expressions we have seen. Then finally we have seen what is DHTML. And finally we have seen what are the event handlers in DHTML. In next class we will see what is the continuation for DHTML. We will see in the next class. Thank you.
Okay, madam.